Hi, I'm Jen and I'm going to teach you how to create and use a watermark as a brush in Photoshop Elements. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up a new file. So go to File, what's going on? File, New, Blank File. Do whatever size that you want to do. I don't think you can go too big, but you can certainly go too small. So I think that bigger is better. Name it whatever you want. The important part is to set your background contents to transparent. Select OK. So there we go. So there's a million ways you can customize this, and this is where you should really just go crazy. Get an image in mind and then just experiment and adjust until it looks the way you want it. So I'm just going to do something a little bit basic. I'm going to do my first name and last name, Jen Swedhin. Change the color to whatever color you want. You can change this later on. So I'm just going to do black to make it easy for now. And then change the font size so it fits a little bit better. So this font bores me. So let's find something different. And you go up here to change the font. How about olive oil? These aren't standard fonts that I'm using. These are downloaded fonts. And I download my fonts from dafont.com, DAFONT.com. They're all free and super easy to use, and they have a great selection. So find the font that you want. Let's do Jen Swedhin, check OK. Let's do one more layer for photography. Let's do this one something different, something a little funky. Oh, Pristina. There you go. So those look okay together. Let's put it just like that. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to make it a little bit prettier than this. So let's create a new layer and add a little bit of funk to it. So let's go to the brushes and choose a brush. There's a bunch that come standard with your program, or you can just Google free brushes and you'll find a ton of really great stuff. Let's use a star and see how that looks. So you can increase the size and opacity up here and the size here, or you can use your right and left bracket key to increase the size. So I'm just going to make a few stars of different colors and sizes here. I'm just going to use all of the same color, so we can change that when we're using the actual watermark. Let's do a couple little ones. There. Alright, so there's a fun watermark. It's a good place for us to end. So what we're going to do now that we have this finished is just crop out the area that we ended up using. This doesn't need to be perfect, but you don't want a bunch of dead space. And then what you see inside this crop box is exactly what's going to show up as our brush. Alright, so that's what we've got, and I'm going to turn this entire thing into a brush. So go up to Edit, Define Brush, and name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it JSP Watermark. Save it. Hit OK. And there you go, your brush is created. So now you're just going to go to an image, go to the brushes, choose the drop down, or you can right click to choose the brush you want. And let's just use this, select this last one that I just created, and you'll see it's pulled it up just the way I want. So hit enter to get out of that. Use your right and left bracket key again to adjust it to the size you want. Change your opacity here and your color here. If you want it to be fun, set it whatever color you want. If you want it to match something in your image, use this eyedropper to draw some color out of the image. So I'm just going to make it this green color. I'm going to leave my opacity lower. If it's super high, it's going to be a... Oh, let's change this. There we go. So if it's a high opacity, it's going to be a really harsh watermark like that. Or if you change your opacity down, it's going to be more like a watermark. It's going to be a little bit lighter. So there, that looks pretty good. You can, if you don't like that, change the size if you want to. Change the color. Most traditional watermarks are white with a low opacity, so let's just do white. Turn it down a little bit. Keep the opacity around 60. And there's my watermark. This one's a little crazy and hard to read, so it's not one I would actually use, but I hope that helps. That's how you make a watermark.